Welcome back to the Michael Brooks Show. Great honor to welcome in studio Ryan Grimm, Washington Bureau Chief for The Intercept, author of We've Got People, which is a great book. Ryan, thanks for being here.
It's a great honor to be here.
It's awesome to have you. It's awesome to finally get you up to New York, a proper city.
This city.
I don't even care. I don't actually have all that like New York, New York, man. It's the only place. I mean, I like it.
Right,
but,
and
whatever.
Y'all are going to look like suckers when it's underwater and you have to live somewhere else.
I mean, isn't DC? I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
My house is on a hill.
Your house is on a hill, yeah, but you're gonna I don't know. You get the type of tropical diseases that are gonna migrate to DC.
They'll get there.
It's gonna
before
be fine.
They get
here. Yeah, we live in the hilly part of Brooklyn anyway.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
we live in high elevation Brooklyn, so
yeah, never mind.
You're barking up the wrong tree, my friend. I mean, if you're listening to this and you live in Gowanus, you probably should really We're not gonna do anything about global warming.
No, we're on hills. We're good. We're on hills.
Yeah. Can we just start with just pure Bernie bro celebrate? First of all, what are you? You 50% Bernie bro, 30% Warren bro, 20% Tulsi stan? What's the breakdown?
Well, I'd say I'm 100% the Bernie coalition needs to win and reshape the Democratic Party.
Right.
Because if the party continues drifting toward this high education, fine. High wealth, that's a problem.
Right.
You can't have kind of a working class revolution with a party that is dominated by rich people.
Right.
So I'm for Bernie Sanders recreating this party. But I have more faith in the possibility that Warren can bring a lot of low income people into the party than a lot of other people do. Right. That I think there are a lot of particularly low-income women who could identify with her Oklahoma upbringing and that she wants to bring into the party. I think she also wants to reshape the party. I think she wants to win the nomination first, and if the indivisible suburban crowd is going to push her to the nomination, she'll take that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's an answer to the question or not.
Yeah, no, I'm actually because I think you're one of the only people that is. I mean, I think that there's people who are on all sides of the equation who are a little over the top, which or some people are disingenuous. But you're one of the only people I actually genuinely don't know
right.
where to place, which is probably a good thing. I mean, and would you necessarily with your job would you even say who you were going to vote for?
I think yeah.
I mean, you would.
I would.
Oh, okay.
And I think some of the ambivalence or some of the difficulty you're having is some of my own ambivalence in the sense that Warren is an extremely impressive operator.
Mm-hmm.
She's somebody who went toe to toe with Tim Geithner and body slammed him.
Which one? On the Financial Protection Bureau?
On the Financial Protection Bureau, but also he fought tooth and nail to prevent her from running it. And
right.
She eventually did not run it.
Yeah, I was going to say she didn't.
But she figured out a way to be the first person to set it up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that was a non-confirmed position because what
mm-hmm.
Geithner was using was, well, the Republicans aren't going to confirm her, so you can't put her up. She found a loophole in the law, which she had written, that said, well, actually the person that sets it up doesn't need to be confirmed, and you wait until the permanent director, they have to be confirmed. And so he appointed Warren to set it up, which is the most important position because that person then hires all of the staff and sets the culture for the place, and then she handpicks Richard Cordray, the person who's going to replace her.
Can we don't worry, Bernie bros, I'm gonna stick this landing in a minute, but no, I before we do that,
and you know who fought the hardest in the Senate to make her
Bernie
head
Sanders,
of the CFPB?
Of course, because Bernie Sanders is the man. But before we get there, can we do a tangent? Can you remind everybody just how truly awful Tim Geithner was and is?
And the awful thing about Tim Geithner is that at the time, he wasn't even doing it for money, which almost is worse
Had no
Like-
Wall Street, only bureaucratic background.
Yeah, like
Yep.
you can.
Except, wait. He had a brief stint at Kissinger Associates outside of graduate school.
You gotta-
which is
gotta
a
have
very
the-
weird. Yes,
Yes.
everybody. No one should forget that biographical detail.
And so he was at the New York Fed. And so as the economy is going into free fall and as Wall Street is completely collapsing, he becomes like a central figure in this drama that's playing out. And Barack Obama, who is a combination of nervous about his ability to lead. He didn't feel like he had the confidence.
He didn't have this.
He was faking it to make it.
Right.
And he made it.
Right.
And he knew he was kind of still faking it. Like he becomes a much more left president by the end of his presidency than he was at the beginning. Like if he'd been that president at the end, it might be a completely different story. But he wasn't in the beginning. And so he brings in, he's like, oh God, the world is on fire.
Right.
I don't know what to do. This guy Geithner has been handling things over here in the Fed. Larry Summers, the idea that you would look at Larry Summers and be like, this is somebody who's going to bring stability to my administration, that's absurd.
But Obama has a lot of respect and a lot of obsession with credentials.
Right.
And that
Nobody's
sort
more
of thing.
credentialed
And I
than-
think that, Geithner in particular, actually, it's funny because I read about him for a while and I was kind of interested in him because in some ways he's very unimpressive, just even in terms of like how he speaks. He's not a commanding performer. Like Larry Summers is repulsive, but I understand how if that's your thing, he can show up with his "I'm a big dominant egghead" thing.
Right.
Geithner just seems like a cipher, but
Yeah.
then you read about him and it's like, right, but this guy has an absolute mastery of a particular type of technocratic game and a fake calmness, which appealed to Obama's sensibilities.
Right.
So it's an interesting dynamic.
Very similar people.
Yeah.
And he almost got derailed by the tax problems.
Yep.
He'd been ripping off the Treasury.
Yeah.
And
Just like straight up not reporting income,
and
right?
got caught for it. He got a pass, and then Tom Daschle did not, who was going to be his Health and Human Service Secretary, also got dinged for it, and he got knifed for it. So like one of the two went down, but it wasn't Geithner.
It wasn't good. No.
Yeah.
You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.